Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival. My name is Kouamy Brown, and I am here with the lovely.
Hi, my name is Louisa Duchin.
Yes, and please tell the people, the lovely people at home, what your film is, the name, and what it's about.
Yeah, my film is Teddy and Tater, and it is a short, and it's about a ventriloquist whose puppet comes out as trans, and then the ventriloquist has to decide whether or not to support the puppet on her inner wishes or risk losing their audience.
Oh.
So it's a fun, cute coming out story, and it hits on some like big things. So I hope people like it and enjoy and have a good time.
Oh, that's awesome. Like, I hear a lot of genre bending with this, and it's a nice, like, discovery piece as well, and it sounds like an identity piece as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious, like, what was the inspiration for said genres?
Yeah, well, there were a lot of inspirations. One obviously being like my own coming out and like transition, and like I'm from Florida originally, where like notably not the friendliest state towards like trans people, and so a lot of the audience perception and how people take that in the film was like influenced by like things I've heard or experienced while like living in Florida, which was in its own thing. But I really love a stand-up like show, movie, anything. I used to do it back in the day, and like I want to get back into it, but haven't. But I really wanted like the ventriloquism to like act like their act to actually reflect that, as well as like it just being a coming out story like told through metaphor. Like there are a lot of films that do something similar. The Matrix, the entire series being like a big one, and it being like a trans allegory story in itself. So there were a lot of influences. I also just love the Muppets and have always wanted to do a puppet movie and kind of like know what it takes to operate and like a puppet character for the sake of a movie, and so that was kind of cool. It was a really fun experience.
Okay, awesome. And you're talking about The Matrix. Matrix is actually my favorite movie.
Is it really?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome.
It changed my whole perspective on life. I learned about anime right after because that's the only thing that could give my head a rush as much as The Matrix. So yeah, but I've never heard it in that perspective before. Could you please explain it? I'm curious.
No, there's a lot of articles about it, but the directors, the Wachowskis, came out as trans like years later, and so like the idea is that like they like it was at the big time of like the internet and like chat rooms, and it's the idea of like how you present your online is like your choice, because so a lot of people were starting to experiment with gender and expression online via the internet, and you kind of get that through the Matrix, where these characters are completely different people with like different like abilities and just other stuff like and they were essentially fighting the binary of the Matrix itself, and like fighting to have their own like stand within that world and that universe. And so if you like look into the history, there were even, I think the character Switch in that movie as well was meant to be a woman in the Matrix, but was still a man on the outside. So there were a lot of like intentions that didn't get put all the way through, but like at its core, because like it's Lil Wachowski's like one of their biggest movie, like that was their own like experimentation like through that. And I don't know if you've seen their movie before that too, Bound. Incredible movie.
Bound? Oh,
Yeah.
now I gotta check it out.
That's a good one too.
I've heard of Bound for sure. I heard of Bound because I know some backgrounds when it comes to the Matrix, like how the Matrix and the Terminator was actually one full book, if you didn't know, and then they actually split it up and made it into two different like IPs, so to speak. But no, that's very interesting, and I love how art in itself allows individuals to find some, especially if it's a good one or something that's relatable, like they're able to find things that are relatable. And I think that that's one key thing when it comes to making independent films. So I'm curious, when you created your film, were you thinking about how the audience might take it? Did you think about like what you wanted the audience to feel? Like, did you like what was like the inspiration to said project?
Yeah, no, I would definitely say all those things, because I think like art is like humans like greatest expression of themselves, like the way of like doing that through a story. It's why I love filmmaking, because it's like all of the art in one. Like you're making portraits, you're making performances, you're telling a story. But for me, like again, it was like my expression of like my own coming out and like the fear of like how people were gonna receive that, and like having to like choose myself and start over for my own sake of like living. And I think I wanted people in the creation of this, I wanted both like my family to understand a little bit more. So it was very much like an expression 101. And it did help a lot. Like my relationship with my family has like gotten better like since making this movie, which is really cool.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But I also just wanted people that were like on the fence or like just that were still scared to come out or to do anything to kind of like see themselves in the story and like maybe be like inspired to like choose one more thing that like makes them feel like themselves today, you know, just like a, hey, I don't care like how people are going to react, I'm doing this for me. And like I've had a lot of like queer people at other festivals just come up to me after, be like, hey, this movie really meant a lot, I really saw myself in this story. And like it was like that for me too, because it's the idea of like, again, like where do we start from if we're essentially like changing the story halfway through, you know?
Yeah, or like choosing your true self rather than the self that you might show to other people,
Right.
And things in that nature. No, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like especially when it comes to expressing art. Like I was talking previously before with some other filmmakers, and I was trying to express the fact that I believe that vulnerability is the most attractive thing that a human can portray to another individual. It attracts the snakes, it attracts the supporters, it attracts the kids, the adults, it attracts them all. It's something that we could all, relate to. And I'm curious, like when creating this film, other than the things that we've already touched upon, was there like anything that made you feel like it was like a vulnerable, a state or time that you're like, hey, I want to quit, or any other thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like it was an incredibly vulnerable time. It's a very like it's being vulnerable just means like showing your full truth into what it is, and it takes a lot of trust. And just in the process of like making this movie and putting my crew together and like having to trust all my friends to like see this story, see how it related to me, and then put their whole heart into it too. Like that really like meant the most to me.
Shout out to friends and crew.
Shout out to friends and crew. Shout out to my lead actor Charles, who did the best job and like saw the vulnerability like in the script itself, and then like took them on themselves to like make the movie. And so like I don't know, it's just having this like was just really, I don't know, it was everything was laid out there, and I was kind of like a raw nerve for the entire production, because it's like I was like self-funding it, I was having to trust my friends, like we only had a limited time, and on top of that like it was an assignment for school. So now I'm also like having to get graded on like my like deepest thoughts and vulnerability. So
we love
crazy.
grading on that,
Yeah.
That just makes us feel great.
It sure does.
That's amazing. I did not know about that. Oh, but I hear a little bit things about community or creating cast and crew. Like I believe that cast and crew is like another form of community. Common unity. We all come together in order to create this said project, no matter how big or how small or how long that we all stick together. But I'm curious, when creating said crew, did you have anything that you kept in mind when you wanted to have people join in on your project? Was there anything that you focused on, or?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted people that like could see themselves in the story, or just like, I don't know, I'm a big proponent of like a girls crew kind of thing too. And so like shout out to that wasn't the main reason. Like my director of photography, Sarah Mahani, is an incredible like artist, and she's so good and has such a vision and like creating the frame. And I was so excited because she reached out to me over the summer asking what I was working on, and I told her about this, and she wanted to be in it. And so I was so grateful that she like wanted to be in it. But I don't know, when I like put my crew together, I like, I was joking saying it's like a girls, gays, and theys crew, because like that's kind of like who would see themselves or like want to be like. I don't know. I think there's a level of like honesty that like we can get with each other, and like in creating that, and like really like essentially that, because there's egos, but like I have an ego too, but it's just like I don't know. We're trying to make the most film that this film can be, and I think I just wanted people that I trust, like with my whole heart, to be there and that trusted me to work and put something out there. So yeah, I'm so grateful for like everybody who like got to come out and help out. I even had like a friend from a past project. His name is Denzel. He like we worked on a competition. He was like one of the other teams, but I just really liked him. He came all the way down for Toronto for like 2 days of the shoot, and it was just like it was so awesome. So I don't know. I really liked having that. Like I felt like everybody kind of came in to just like help where they could, because Sarah wasn't in school anymore. Charles is here. He's based out of New York, and like we flew him into Rochester so that like he could be in the film as well, because like I just trusted the way that they took the performance and the character. So I don't know. There's a lot of thought, and it was definitely like crafted like to that.
Nice, yeah. And I'm pretty sure it's well received, without a doubt. Like you could tell the different pieces all coming together, and that's always a beautiful thing. So I also have another question. Like when it comes to like films, like were there any films that other than The Matrix that inspired you to be a filmmaker?
To be a filmmaker.
Because I know, correct me if I'm wrong. You said you were dabbling in stand up, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what you said, correct?
Well, so I went back to school. I originally was going for like theater and stuff.
Oh, nice. I'm a theater bred.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because I went back to school for film. I was originally in theater, and before that, hey, I was a nurse and like studying biology and doing like pre-med stuff. So like, I like to say I disappointed my parents by like switching into like the arts, but I don't know. I'm having a great time. But I think like the big things that got me into just like filmmaking was actually TV. I watched a lot of TV growing up, and I don't know, I was going through a lot like in middle school and high school, and the shows that like kind of really got me through it were like Parks and Rec and like The Office and like just a lot of sitcoms. And just, I don't know, there were a lot of like really good shows that it felt like the cast and the crew were like all kind of like friends, and like you would see a lot of bloopers and stuff, and I was like, wow, that's what I want to do. I want to make cool things with my friends and then like show it to the world. And so I think that's like what got me into filmmaking in the first place. But I definitely have some that, you know, like really stick out to me. Like one of my favorite movies is Moonstruck with Cher and Nicolas Cage. That's a fun one, but I don't know, just I feel like you share a lot of the stories you have both growing up and like with your family, and that's kind of like what pushes you to it, because you're like, I want to be part of that party.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I 100% agree. I feel like actors, they always say actors have something to say, or like good actors always have something to say, and like good filmmakers have a vision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think half of the battle of like any art is just finding your voice, you know, and knowing what you want to say and how you say it.
Yes.
And I think that was something that took me a really long time to find, because I was like going from thing to theater to, I worked in like a crystal store, I worked at a library, I was a nurse. Like I've been trying to do all these things, and I definitely think they like helped me grow and like shape my as a person, but like mostly like it just, I don't know, it helped me find my voice and like how I want to like be in the world and what I want to say and what I want to contribute. So
no, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's beautiful, because I do believe that identity is very key, especially when it comes to creating your own films, because like you said, like you have to speak your vision. Like I like there's this saying that I enjoy very much. It's like I'm paraphrasing, but it goes along the lines of you have to be yourself, because if you're not, then how can the people looking for you find you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the only you got, so might as well.
Might as well.
Because no one else is gonna be you.
Ever.
Right.
Ever.
Yeah.
So that's a note to you filmmakers out there. Make those things. Do you have any advice to any audience that's looking out?
I would say just make the thing that only you can, you know, because you can say this story's been done before, or, oh, like this is like this, and you might get discouraged, but like whatever you as a person bring to the table is going to make it different. So don't ever be discouraged by that, because you as like a new person on this planet with your own unique experiences, you're going to make it the way you can, and other people are going to see that and resonate it with. So don't ever let that stop you, and just like, yeah, be the only you that you can be.
That part. I like that. And can you tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, my Instagram for my film is it's Lou Duchin, LOUDUCHIN _ films. I post a lot of my film stuff on there. Teddy and Tater's on there. Also now on like PBS, which is kind of cool.
That's
it's
sick.
on the upstate Schenectady. I don't know New York that well because I'm from Florida. I just don't know. But it's on one of the local stations. It's TV film on PBS, and it's on one of the episodes. So that's been really cool. But yeah, Lou Duchin _ films on Instagram if you want to find me. There's also louduchinfilms.com, but I'm working on updating that because I write and direct. I mostly write, but now I'm more on like the production design and like art side too, which has been fun. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
we do a little everything, as you heard. So.
Hey, and it's very important when you do film, when you start off filmmaking, to do as many things as you possibly can, especially if you want to like delegate and things in that nature, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Is this how many films have you done? You said how many films have you created so far?
This is, I would say, my second.
Oh, nice.
Because I did one right when I first got to school, but this was the one where I was like, okay, I have like my footing, I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing, but this is the thing that I want to say, and this is what I want to do.
Okay, so what would you say is a big takeaway that you learned from your first film that you applied to your second?
I would just say pushing the story, pushing the narrative, and pushing angles, because my first film was fun. It was like, you know that movie that came out like literally right after mine came out?
Obviously, I knew that movie.
You know that movie? You know that one? No, it was called Here. It was like Robert Zemeckis and Tom Hanks, and it was all from like one point of view in a house, and it was like through time.
That sounds so familiar.
It came out 2 years ago. I made one in school that came out right before they released the trailer for it. That was from the point of view of like a mirror in like a historical house, like one of those like house museums. Because like I used to go to those with my mom a lot, and it's like story of like generations like through that house, and like they would all kind of like interact with each other. And so that was my first one. But hey, it was one angle, and we presented that, and someone was like, "Hey, your theater is showing." So. My whole theater background check, because it was all one angle, and so we were watching stage. So, but it was fun, and nice. I really appreciated that story and like what it like helped me gain. But I don't know. I think there's a difference between like stories that come to you and a story that comes through you. And I think this one, Teddy and Tater, was one that like came through me. You know?
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, was there anything else that you wanted to tell the lovely people?
Support your local film festivals.
Yes.
Come out to Mount Vernon Independent Film Festival if you can. Wish you were here. Why aren't you here? That's it.
Well, you heard it here first.